NFL record for the worst completion percentage.
This is a game you need to win. This is a divisional matchup against a team you should beat. This is how you stack up wins.
Hello and welcome back to episode 73 of i75Live.
We're getting old, man.
We are coming fresh off 2 playoff wins. And you know, I think I saw a lot of comments. Who would have thought? Like, who really would have thought?
Look at us.
But I saw a lot of comments of, you know, some of our Steelers posts and some of our other posts where, oh, wow, this is so funny. A Patriots fan and a Bears fan, like, you guys are going to lose in the first round and you guys are going to do this. And you guys had a very easy schedule. And, oh, well, now because we beat them, now the schedule, oh, well, Justin Herbert didn't have this. And just give me a fucking break with all the excuses. Like, you're setting yourself up to, like, ultimately, you know, if they don't go to the Super Bowl and win, then it's see, I told you, I was right. Yeah, of course you're right now. Like, shut up. Anyway, it is.
But guys, neither of you said your teams will go to the Super Bowl. No. You're just happy that they're here.
So I'm happy to be here.
But you know how the internet works and how people work. They are going to wait till they can be right.
Yes.
All the time.
I called it.
I knew it. See, I told you they were going to lose.
We need to run a clip though from our predictions week 1 back in the beginning of the season. You guys did not pick your team.
I said my team was going to be 3rd in the division.
That's right.
The Dolphins.
And you were 2nd or 3rd, Dylan.
I picked the Bears.
No, he picked the Bears.
I was right. I told everyone.
And we thought you were crazy. We thought you were setting us up for the life cycle of a Bears fan.
I almost got it completely.
But Ben Johnson messed that whole thing up.
I almost got it completely right. I was close. I was very close. You flipped the Lions and the Packers, I believe, and I got it right. I'd have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, I don't say you were
delusional.
No. You were more valid to say that than I think my team was, because you guys had a lot of talent. Mm-hmm. You guys had a really good defense on paper.
Oh yeah.
Last year, we've seen it this year with all the turnovers and everything.
Yep.
So I think you had a little more argument than me, to where we had Josh Allen, we had, you know, kind of Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Achane with the Dolphins. You know, they're way more talented than what we had on paper. So you saying that, I don't think was as now. If I would have said something like that, that would have been just a pure, you know, you're being a homer for your team. But no, it's been pretty fun. It really has. You know, it's changed. It brings me back to the days of watching football games and really truly like caring about it. Mm-hmm. And I know people like you will say, well, I haven't watched a game of the Dolphins that I've truly cared about in however many years.
Well, hey, we all won. I won. They fired my coach finally. So
they did. We predicted the future once again. But same thing with Harbaugh.
Yeah, we did. And now even Tomlin, we heard Tomlin is now stepping down. So we are
stepping down or told to leave?
Probably told to leave, but it's a nice way of doing it.
Yeah.
We're like, 4 for 4 on coaches? That a couple
Something
of them were pretty obvious, but I don't think the Harbaugh one was very obvious, and the Steelers one I don't think was either.
Steelers one makes sense, but I thought they were gonna. I didn't think they would fire him. This was the most likely outcome to have happened. That they're just not all marriages have to end sour. It's just kind of both of you are ready to move on.
Yeah.
But is there one more to go though? Is there one more to go? LaFleur.
Maybe.
So their reports were out that apparently that they're looking to extend him. You know, the funny thing actually is that a report
you lost to the Bears twice this year, but we want to give you an extension now.
Well, the report came out before the game on Saturday that they were, regardless of the game's outcome, that they were looking to extend LaFleur. And then after the game happened, the talk and like the report shifted to LaFleur and ownership will meet this week to determine their future.
Yeah, well, let's hope that dinner goes a lot better than the McDaniels dinner did, because obviously 30 minutes after he gets fired, something wasn't said.
Well, I was going to say half
LaFleur
of that meeting with McDaniel and y'all's owner was probably just a bunch of and then the owner was just kind of sitting there and like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be the head coach of my team anymore. We're going to have a lot of openings. I think there was a report that came out. It's more now because this was before, I believe, Tomlin stepped down and then I think one other coach, but 25% of the league is open. 25% of the league is looking for a head coach now. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I
saw that.
And pretty crazy. The Chargers just fired their OC too.
Yeah, 8 teams I think have openings. There were 6 last year. This is ridiculous. And like coordinator openings, the league is going to look, once again, we said this at the end of last year, it's going to be really different. It's going to look very different. And we're honestly gearing towards another year. I don't feel, I guess too irrational saying this, that we're going to have once again for however many years in a row, multiple teams that are now making their playoff debut that didn't make it last year. And it's been like, I think you'd know the number. I think it's like 10 years in a row or maybe even more, that every single year there's been at least 2 new teams make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, that's what the NFL prides itself on, I think, is parity and having that. And, that's what keeps...
Unlike college football, the NFL's figured out how to actually
with the salary cap and just with everything, it's anyone's. I think it's truly anyone's game when you really look at the teams that are still in it.
Yep. But speaking of college football,
we'll talk about that before we get into NFL, fourth and long. Just to kind of wrap it up, college football championship, obviously this upcoming Monday, you got Indiana versus Miami.
These games were awesome.
Oh, and yes, to go into the semifinal games. Yeah, the Miami game, I think Miami, when you look at Miami...
That was an instant classic, dude.
It was, and their defense is really good.
It is really good.
Their D-line is good. It's been good all year. Yeah. That's kind of been what's held that team together when Carson Beck decides to throw 300. He is... I just can feel it. He's been perfect.
It's coming.
I just feel like Sid the Sloth. It's coming.
He's creeping around.
His interception of just like, what are you doing? It's coming, and I have a feeling it's going to come against this Indiana defense, who is they're very, very good. So but no, to say he again, I think played well enough to kind of it wasn't anything spectacular. He didn't do anything crazy. They were able to run the ball pretty effective.
Yep.
Play good defense, and they ultimately came out on top. And to go on Ole Miss, I think the joke of Ole Miss, like, what if they went to the championship?
They got this close.
What if they did this? And what if they
close.
And all of the Lane Kiffin stuff? I think everyone, and a little bit deep down inside, was like, I would love to see Ole Miss go to the championship
pretty cool.
just because of everything that went down with Lane Kiffin.
Uh-huh.
And we kind of said it too, is do you think if they would have, are you kind of sitting back in your lane going,
damn.
Like, I know I just like got the bag and I'm at a school that like you can only dream about coaching, but damn. Like, really?
Yeah. I think after they landed Sam Levitt yesterday, that is no longer, even if Ole Miss won, I think LSU's going to be damn good next year. But
is that the quarterback from Arizona?
Yeah, the Arizona State guy committed to LSU through the transfer portal. So that, and then the Oregon-Indiana game, I thought Indiana was going to win. I didn't think they'd win by 34. That was not on my agenda.
They were up
list.
by, it was 28-7 at halftime.
Yeah, it was bad.
I turned it off.
It was bad.
I mean, it was a straight up ass kicking, and I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? Jerry said it right though, and we talked about it on our group chat. Jerry was right. Like, the West Coast teams have never really been able to hang. They don't play good defense.
Well,
they've never been able to hang with some of these tough schools.
Do you think part of it is that just being a West Coast team, and when they have to come over here to play, some of the East Coast teams and even teams in the Midwest, and they're playing at a neutral site that's not California, is that kind of affecting like the weather almost?
I think it's because West Coast offense, shootout games constantly. It's like who can score the most, and you go up against these teams where you can't score enough against these big defenses.
Yeah,
you can't.
It's true.
And then you just you get your butt kicked.
Well, so speaking on that, so I know not entirely West Coast teams, but I mean the conversation, it begs the question seriously: has the Big Ten passed up the SEC for being the top conference after NIL has kind of not leveled things out, but the SEC isn't the only team paying, or the only league paying players anymore. And I'm not to say that Big Ten wasn't beforehand, but I mean it's a level playing field. And Big Ten has been very clearly, at least their top teams, been better as of the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, and we kind of saw it, how the playoffs kind of shook out. Some of the SEC teams didn't. I know Georgia kind of got in a shootout with, and that kind of ended the way it did against an SEC team and an SEC opponent. I think it has created more kind of what we talked about with the NFL, to where anyone can kind of beat anyone.
More parity.
What it's going to be, though, is any one of those top teams in those top conferences could beat anyone. You're never going to see who is it? The BYU come in and beat a Georgia or beat an Ohio State or even beat an Oregon or beat an Ole Miss at that, this year. You're just never going to see that. So it's just going to be the top, 4 or 5 teams in these conferences who are just, one of them's going to win it. And even I know the ACC was kind of down, and people are arguing, going, yeah, the people who said Miami didn't deserve look real stupid right now. You do.
True.
I mean, again, this is the problem that I have with college football is how it's just all left up to interpretation. And it's all left up to where the like what Miami's doing, it would have sucked if they weren't in because we don't have this.
Yeah.
So I have a question though for you. Think about the SEC. I hear what you're saying that the SEC, are they not as, has the Big Ten passed them? Well, the SEC still is a huge conference. They all beat the crap each other, every week after week after week. Do you think maybe after the whole season, these Big Ten teams haven't had to face that? Because they even said that about Indiana. They haven't played anybody yet. They played Ohio State. Ohio State didn't really play anybody.
Oh, they beat Oregon
The SEC
twice.
teams had to play everybody every single week, and now you get to this point. And is it because finally the toll of the season caught up to them? And these Big Ten teams are like, we're just getting rolling because we really haven't played anybody tough except for the last 3 weeks?
I think 18 teams being in the Big Ten just doesn't do any of the top teams any favors because, there's just so many teams in that conference. And it's just like, you get a situation every once in a while where Indiana played a lot of the bottom teams. And same with A&M. And, that was pretty much the only gripe on them going into the college football playoffs. And they ended up being right. I mean, they lost to Miami and they barely scored. And so I think at the very least, these conferences are even now. I don't think the SEC is a powerhouse compared to the Big Ten or any other, Power 5 conferences. Obviously, they're better than the ACC or, stuff like that. But it's a level playing field now. Everyone can pay players, and the Big Ten has caught up very quickly.
And I'll bring it up too. I know the stat is being thrown out there of how many 5 stars like Oregon had versus how many 5-star, 4 stars that like Indiana had. And it was like they had like 40 or 50 guys that were either 4-star or 5 stars on Oregon, and Indiana had like 4 or 5. So to me, to win a championship in anything, in any sport, you still need to have that culture and that team, bond that just, you're a team.
You need a Kurt Signetti.
And right now, it's all fine and dandy that you can go out and pay all these huge players to come in and to play for you, but it doesn't create a team. What Indiana is a true team. All the interviews of all the players, of how they talk about their teammates, how they talk about their coach, it's not just a paycheck for them.
No.
And to some kids, and I don't care what you say, it is. Like the whole, you mentioned the Sam Levitt kid going to LSU. He visited, I think
he went to Tennessee.
He went to every SEC school. That was a business decision for him. I'm sorry. It was, Tennessee offered me, $10 million. I'd love to come play for.
Yeah, but did you hear the quarterback of Alabama just got offered $6.5 million to play one more year?
Down, and
they're
goes to the draft.
And sure you want to go to the NFL, make $500,000?
So to me though, I look at that and go, hey, he cares more about furthering his goals and the future he wants for himself as a football player than just thinking about money.
Yeah.
Now that's a whole nother question. If you want to sit here and say, well, he's not ready to go to the NFL, stay in college one more year, take the money. Yeah, the money's great, but get another year under your belt and then go to the NFL. That's a whole nother conversation. But to me, you're not seeing guys caring about joining and building a team and a championship.
Breaking news.
What?
The Eagles just fired their OC.
Oh, did they really?
That one's not surprising.
That one also could have seen coming.
Anyway, it's just you don't see that anymore. It's everyone's chasing a paycheck, and that's why I look at people funny when they say, "Well, they're still kids at the end of the day, and they're still student athletes." No, they're not. And I will say it until I will say it until my face is blue. They are not student athletes anymore. When you have
semi-pro athletes.
Even the guy who's the team? He signed the contract, tried to get out of it. The Northwestern.
Oh yeah,
Washington.
Washington quarterback. How he wanted to enter the transfer portal after signing a contract saying he can't.
And his lawyers are like, "You're going to lose."
And he was like, "I want to," and it's like, "No, you can't, dude.
No."
That's not real life.
That's how business
works. That's how real life works. You signed a contract. You can't go back on that because you didn't feel like it.
Yeah. It's very true.
And then, a day later, after everything comes out and all this stuff, well, I'm coming back to play. Yeah, you have one choice.
What about Raiola going to Oregon?
That too. I saw that.
Pretty crazy.
So
that probably means Dante Moore is going to the league.
I was really
as well.
hoping he was going to go to Texas Tech just to really.
No, so you want to know even better is that Patrick Mahomes last week lost a bet and wore an Oregon jersey because of that lost bet.
I saw that.
And then Raiola commits to Oregon.
I saw that.
3 days later, it's just you can't.
He could have fulfilled the full transition to a Patrick Mahomes wannabe if he went to Texas Tech. So he missed an opportunity there.
Yeah,
all jokes aside, all jokes. But yeah, no, I mean those people out there who are saying that they're still kids and it's still this and it's still that. It's not, and I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. This is what it is, and I blame entirely the NCAA and how they have handled all this stuff. And contracts should be what they did with the Washington quarterback. That should be and we saw this with the Georgia guy too, who he's now having to pay back the money they gave him because he decided to leave. And that was his choice.
This was supposed to be make a few bucks on your jersey sales, go out and sign autographs, get paid that day to go sit down at Dick's Sporting Goods and make $1,000 to sign, a little stipend for money because you can't have a job. And now it's millions and millions of dollars.
It's their fault.
Not the plan.
It's their fault. It put it into the legislation when you passed it.
And now it's just made it so hard to really you can't just go in and year out and change a few things until it gets right. Because of the way they've built it. It's made it almost impossible to really go through and change that. That's enough on college football though. To get into today's 4th and long. Chris, what do you got for us?
Well, first of all, I just have to throw this out.
So here we go.
Two heads of the SEC and the Big Ten,
fourth down and 20.
You guys,
Fourth
now
and
they're
21.
already talking
Not the
about
way you want to try to extend it.
And they have to decide in the next couple of weeks. So that's probably going to happen. And they said it involves a lot of money. So of course that's going to be the case. So, okay, you guys mentioned Indiana. Indiana, when you think about it, do you realize the wins that they've had this year? It shouldn't have been a surprise to see what they did. But they beat Kennesaw State. They scored 56 against Kennesaw State.
Kennesaw State scored against them.
63, 56, 55, 56. Okay, 56 again to Oregon. They have been putting this on everybody. I don't know how Indiana doesn't win the championship at all. But you know what's really crazy? Do you realize that all 4 coaches that were in the Final Four,
Saban Knights,
all were Saban coaches, all won rings at Alabama under Saban.
So yeah, I saw this and I didn't know Cignetti was under Saban.
Oh yeah,
he
was the wide receivers coach.
I did not know that.
Alabama.
I thought he really, because his whole story of he started basically at each division. He's really worked his way up, and then he
started at Alabama and then worked his way back.
I did not know that.
Yep.
So that was news to me. I think it's great, and it shows the impact that Saban had on college football. It also shows the impact that Saban had when he decided to leave college football because of everything going on. And he was smart enough to get out of it before everything just got so messy. And now look at him and what he's been doing with ESPN and everything. Even some of the comments that he's had about BYU, where he was like, just because the minor league baseball team wins their championship doesn't mean you put them in the World Series. It's the same thing. Obviously. Yep. So yeah, I think that's great. And the Nick Saban tree continues. I mean, there's so many. I can only imagine of just the guys that we don't even know about who who will eventually probably one day be a coach somewhere, and then it's he was Nick Saban's assistant, whatever.
This guy cleaned Nick Saban's boots at Alabama. Now he's the head coach of Oregon.
But it does speak to the fact, I think now that they kind of haven't won very much the past couple of years, everyone can kind of come around and be like, you know what, Nick Saban, kind of what Belichick and Brady, after he was done winning, he's retired, no one's got to deal with him anymore. Now they can kind of look and go, you know what? He was a really good coach, and I can respect what he did now that he's not beating the shit out of my team every single week.
Yeah.
So that's what I think about that. I think it's great.
It's pretty crazy.
So another interesting, it just goes to prove too, for we've talked about, the power of a coach. Dylan's team, the Bears, look what they did. Your team this year too, Dawson. So Sean McVay is in his 15th career playoff game this week, obviously against the Bears.
I know.
You realize that he has never faced the same team twice in the playoffs.
Wait, what?
You didn't see this? I thought you saw this.
He's had 15 playoff games.
He's never played
the same team twice.
I thought it was crazy. Like the odds of that happening, you being in the NFC this whole time you've been a head coach.
I could go down the list for you, but Dylan, you're going to love this. So here's an interesting.
It's a really cool stat.
Interesting topic just for you, Dylan. So if you go back to his last 6 games, win against the Bengals, loss of the Lions, win against the Vikings, loss of the Eagles, win against the Panthers,
Loss against the Bears.
Loss against the Bears. It should be like if it follows suit for the last 6, basically half his playoff career, you're going to get the dub.
All I'm saying is they're going to have to come and play, and it's not going to be a dome. It's not going to be the LA weather. You're coming to Chicago. So we'll see what happens on Sunday night.
Pack your hand warmers.
Yeah, let's just say that our team will be very comfortable in the elements, and there will be no shortage of Bears fans in the stadium rocking just like they were last week. So yeah, that's insane. I don't know how I haven't seen that stat. But yeah, I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool stat when I saw it.
It stacks on top of what we just said, at the start of the episode, how every single year, I think it may even been more than 2 teams. I think it's more than that it's every year there are new teams that didn't make the playoffs the year before. And it's just, that's the parity of the NFL. That's why it's so good. That's why it's so competitive.
So last thing that I want to ask you guys before we move on. So do you think there are any more shoes to drop on coaches right now in the NFL? Are we done firing coaches? If you had to guess, would you predict any more? Because so far you guys have been right.
The only one that I could see happening is if the Bills go up on Denver, like by a lot, by 2 or 3 touchdowns, and then they fumble it. And I think McDermott would get fired.
Yeah, I think
it's the only one.
I would agree with that. I will also say that the Packers might decide to cut ties with LaFleur as well. I think those are the only 2 left. And it's funny because they were both playoff teams.
Maybe the Bengals just want to, come to their senses.
Well, now the Bengals kind of look smart. They're the only team in that division that has a head coach right now.
Yeah, but what happens when the other 3 teams find really good head coaches this cycle?
I completely agree with you.
You're stuck with Zach Taylor.
At this point, you're the only team in that division that has a head coach.
You just know that either the Bengals owner or their Nepo baby GM / team president, whatever he is just sitting back in his chair, just be like, yeah. That's right.
I knew we did.
I made the right choice.
Okay, so I got to ask one more. One more question. So, if you guys had to guess right now, early prediction, we're only January 13th. Mm-hmm. Where does Harbaugh coach next year?
The Falcons or the Giants?
Falcons, Giants, or Miami.
Okay,
actually,
Miami.
Probably not Miami because they don't have a quarterback. I'd either go the Giants.
I want one. No, you get to pick one. You don't get to pick 3.
Falcons.
Giants.
Falcons is your number 1, Dawson.
Giants. Okay. He's going to the Giants.
You think the Giants?
Yep. They got everything they need other than a head coach. Need some O-line work, but everything else is there for the taking. They've got a good draft pick coming up. It's Giants.
So the only thing that I would say maybe not the Falcons, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more,
who's quarterback?
That and Harbaugh also likes to have control.
Yeah.
And the Falcons could be looking at it and going, hey, it really hasn't worked when we kind of let one guy control the whole thing. Yeah. We're going to need a GM. They just hired Matt Ryan as their president of operation for football.
But he could be the de facto GM too under Harbaugh.
He could, you're right, but Harbaugh has always kind of been...
That just ruled out the Giants because they didn't fire Joe Shane. So Giants aren't happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the Falcons.
But you also don't get everything you ask for either. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
that's
but when
fair,
you're Jim Harbaugh, it's...
He wants $20 million a year and to pick his own GM, and I think
And doesn't he want a bunch of money for his staff, too? Like, he wants to be able to hire the best
he wants a certain amount of...
Like 10 or 15 million for...
Similar to what the Bears did, honestly, for Ben Johnson, is what he wants. I think he saw what the Bears were able to shuffle out for him. And I think the Raiders are a dark horse because they're hitting a hard reset.
And you get the
first overall pick. You know what you're getting.
Would that put him in the same division as his brother?
Yeah, it would.
Yes.
That would be crazy.
It would. Maybe he does do that.
Maybe he does do that. Yeah.
I know, because Jim said he wants him to go to the NFC.
If I had to guess, though, again, I think the best... I mean, you could say what you want about Harbaugh. On paper, he's probably the best head coach out there of guys that, have won a lot of games, been around a long time, I would say the Falcons. Just with the talent they have, we've talked about it last week. That'd be my guess, but the Raiders is a sneaky one. I like that. Be in the same division with his brother. You get the first overall pick. You got Brock Bowers.
Weird.
You got, I almost said it.
Genty.
Well, okay, since we're playing hot seat on coaches, though, so then do you think Tomlin ever coaches again?
Yeah, he will. If anything, he takes this year off, kind of does TV.
Yeah.
I could see him doing like what Sean Payton did, where he like does TV for a year.
They say he's a Tony Dungy, though. Like if you look at what he did, he was only good enough to get there, never good enough to win.
You're right,
like,
but someone will take that over what they've had.
Yeah.
So I think he takes the Sean Payton route. He goes into TV for a little bit, for a year, and then after this next cycle of head coaches, someone will not want one of their young guys that they thought were going to be the next Sean McVay, and they'll go and get the veteran Mike Tomlin to come in and change the culture.
Yeah, I don't think he's done. I think he'll eventually, maybe not next year, but I think he's not the oldest guy in the world. We just saw Pete Carroll come back, so
yeah,
he's never coming back.
Pete Carroll, I think, is done.
Pete Carroll's got to be done.
Pete Carroll's probably
nobody's
done.
hiring.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Oh, poor Pete.
That's it, guys. That's all I got.
Right. Nicely done.
To get into the NFL, to wrap up or to kind of touch on last week's games.
Are the Bears back?
We'll go. Now, there were a lot of great games. I think the first game that wasn't supposed to, and then it turned out being really good, with the Panthers and the Rams. I also just think it was a little, not to say embarrassing, but to me, the Rams just feel like they have not been the dominant Rams that we saw at the beginning of the year towards this back half of the year.
No, they've kind of slid.
They were going into that game 10-point favorites. I mean, you let a Bryce, and I know Bryce Young, it seems like 1 week he could score like he did, and the next week he scores 3 points and throws for 100 yards. So I mean, maybe you just flipped the coin and got the really good Bryce Young last week, and but look, to me, the Rams. You said it to me. If you stop Puka, that team is.
They become very one-dimensional.
They really do. And Devontae Adams, as good as he is, as good as he has been, to me, he's really just a red zone target.
Yeah.
Every other kind of portion of the field, it just doesn't feel like he's
really have the speed anymore,
affecting the game the way Puka does and the way their tight ends do.
How do you leave that guy open? Like, how do you leave Puka open?
I mean, they do. Sean McVay is notorious. He did it with Cooper Kupp when Cooper Kupp won the Triple Crown, of putting his guys in positions to not be how did you get open?
He schemes guys open.
He seemed like he was open the whole game.
He schemes guys open. He knows where to put them. He knows motion. He knows put them in the slot and everything that he does. That's why he's very good.
And now we get a treat watching Ben Johnson and Sean McVay play each other. That's going to be awesome.
But yeah, no.
It's the highest point total of the week.
It doesn't surprise me. With the two often, I mean, with all the comebacks and just everything, it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, no. And even Matthew Stafford, this is the part that makes me is Drake May beats this Carolina Panthers team
by a lot
to where he doesn't play in the fourth quarter, like halfway through the fourth quarter,
which he seldomly did.
And that win doesn't count for anything. Like it's like no one. And then
that was before they knew the Panthers were good. Okay, and it doesn't count.
And then all of a sudden, Matthew Stafford comes out and does what he does, and it's like God walked on water. If we're gonna have the same energy towards this Carolina Panthers team, then we can't sit here and look at the Patriots and go, "Oh, they're a merchant of the easy schedule."
You want to know on top of that? Guess who else the Patriots beat? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Guess who the Panthers lost to in Week 18 and only won the division because of another team winning in a divisional matchup? This doesn't fit their narrative, so it won't get talked about.
That, and it's just, people don't know how. Like, great, you saw that on Instagram that they have an easy schedule and they're a benefit. You saw one guy on TikTok say, "Look at their schedule; they haven't played anyone."
There's something called an eye test in sports and with most things, where it's like you can kind of tell when something is different and just performing much better than their counterparts or, around the league. Drake May and the Patriots have passed the eye test.
Oh, 100 times.
Listen,
it looked like Tom Brady out there in the field.
Hold on. Now, this playoff game, he made like 3 or 4 big mistakes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The two fumbles he had in the pocket, and I don't really count the interception on him. It was tipped at the line. Like that happens to everyone. So I mean, yes, on the stat sheet, he has an interception. I don't see it like that.
No.
But the two fumbles he had, bad. Very bad.
And
At that point,
don't do that against the Texans.
do not do that against the Texans.
Don't do that.
Now, I'll let you know, though, I think watching this Texans game last night,
Holy shit.
really does make me feel good because their offense, I think, sucks. I mean, especially without Nico Collins. I mean, he got carted off early week on Monday. There's a good chance he probably doesn't play. I know Christian Gonzalez.
Your defense is better than the Steelers. The Steelers, like they're.
I mean,
they were 27th in defense. What are you guys?
On paper, the Steelers are probably better when it comes to stats and just the guys they have. But our unit that we played against the Chargers, great, best defensive showing I've seen all year.
Yeah.
So if we have that defense against, and the Texans O line isn't very good.
No,
they're better than the Chargers, but they're nothing special. I mean, you've got a rookie in Marks at their running back and banged up Nick Chubb, who's been around the league forever.
Yeah.
I mean, your best receiver going into this game, if
Christian Kirk.
Collins doesn't go, is Christian Kirk and a rookie. And two rookies.
Jaden Higgins and Noel.
And your tight end's pretty good, and Schultz.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that. But I like our chances to where, yes, it could be very similar to a defensive slugfest.
Yeah.
Of just, it's going to be field goals. It's going to be whoever can just score just enough or capitalize on that one turnover, in the red zone that you get to where you have a short field and you're able to score a touchdown without having to go 70 yards to score a touchdown. I like my chances, and I may, if it gets clipped, I may eat my words, and all of a sudden we're looking at 7 sacks that the Texans get.
Yeah.
But I seriously don't. I mean, watching Shroud and watching that offense, especially when Nico Collins went out, it was just not good at all.
Take away 2 of their touchdowns because they were defensive scores?
Yes. And then the one that Marks had at the end, the game was over. Like the game was.
Yeah, so take that away. That was a close game.
Yeah, the 14 points. You take away the fumble recovery for a touchdown, take away the pick six where the game was damn near over, and then the Woody Marks touchdown run. I mean, the game was over.
So now it's 10-7.
I mean, they scored one touchdown legit to where like it was in the game. The game was going back and forth. Who was gonna?
Yep.
So I like our chances, and I think when it comes to quarterback play, we definitely have a significant advantage in the quarterback, especially when it comes to rushing. Yeah. And Drake May being able to run the ball to where Aaron Rodgers couldn't run the ball to save his life. When he got the pressure on him. So Drake May being able to get out of the pocket and do what he did against the Chargers. I like our chances, and it's football. Anything could happen, but Drake May, I hope you learned your lesson with some of those fumbles because you cannot do that. You just can't.
It's like I accidentally hit the nail on the head when comparing Drake and Caleb. It's like Drake's issues are at the end of the game. I mean, not necessarily this time, but just with those late game mistakes that can, damper a team's performance. And then Caleb, it seems like only. I don't want to say only, but for the most part, fourth quarters is where he lives. And speaking on the Bears, this Saturday night game,
you just said it. You said if you guys don't play 4 quarters, though, I'm sorry, you cannot keep advancing playing 2 quarters.
I'm sure they said that last week.
I understand, but you've got to do it this week.
They said that when we played the Packers.
You got to do it this week. You got to play 4 quarters.
I know you're saying that. In theory. I know you're saying that, but at the same time, though, yes, I do partially. And I said it last week. I said you've got to start fast, or at least start not just as slow as you have been. Like start, but to do what they did it's special. It really is.
45 points in the fourth.
That's insane.
It's insane, and I just don't think you're going to be able to replicate that
against the Packers.
Week out.
Or we do.
But eventually the coin lands on the other side. Like you cannot keep coin flipping this.
Yeah.
If I get it.
Maybe it's not a coin flip.
You got the fourth quarter, but just give you a couple of quarters.
I will say though, I really, really like the matchup they have this week.
Oh yeah.
I think they match up great with this team.
And the weather's going to be great.
The weather's going to help you guys out.
Mind you, the Eagles came back on the Rams like early in the year. Good weather. Rams came to Philly and were up by 21, and they lost that game.
Yeah, to the block.
We dominated the Eagles, dominated the Eagles. And so the Rams have an incredible defense and they have a great offense too. But anything can happen. And this team, like I've said with our interview that we did, the Rams have not played in a single game all year under 45-degree weather. And you're going into Chicago, windy, single digits, and snowing. And so good luck. Seriously. Stafford played in the snow last year, and Philly had like 3 fumbles. And that was the reason
as long as you guard Puka, you guys can win that game.
I hope you guys got a plan for that guy.
Jalen Johnson, hopefully. He keeps getting healthier, but we'll see. Probably going to double him regardless. Kyler Gordon looked good in the second half. I am done doubting the Bears. I thought that game was over like 4 different times on Saturday. And I never turned it off, but I was just kind of sitting there depressed. And then the fourth quarter happens. And I'm done doubting them. And it's kind of crazy that they're favored. They're not favored. They're 4.5-point underdogs at home against the Rams.
Are they really?
Yeah, and you want to know the last time that a team
Well, you know what that means, right? Because the home
underdogs?
team always gets 3 points.
That's a touchdown.
So that really
That's
means
true.
that they're a
7.
touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah. So just saying, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, they were underdogs in every single round. And you can bet your ass that even if we beat the Rams this week, we're going to be underdogs next week. Regardless. I mean, actually, if the Niners end up somehow beating Seattle, maybe
That's not going to happen.
Maybe we're favored, but who knows? That Seattle 49ers game is going to be pretty interesting as well. It happens the day before our game.
Yeah.
So we'll know.
So what's cool is
We'll know
that
who
your
we're
game,
playing.
my game's at 3, your game's at 6. So that'll be. But yeah, though
On Sunday, right? You
Yeah.
guys are
we play
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, my game's at 3:30, 3 o'clock, and then yours is at 6:30. Before that though, on Saturday, the Seahawks and the 49ers. Look, I know we said it kind of last week. I truly think now this is the game where the injuries, especially with George Kittle out now.
Kittle's now dead.
The injuries it's gonna come back. And
You would think
that it would be. I truly think though that this will be the game to where it's like, this was an awesome little Cinderella run that you put together, coach of the year with Shanahan and everything you did with this team. But it's coming to an end.
Or they win in Seattle and they have to go to and then they have to go to Chicago if we win.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm rooting for. That'd be great.
Well,
And we'll
it'd be
know.
great to get the bigger seeds knocked out, kind of like the Eagles now being out. Knock out these bigger teams now that had the best chance. And then like even Josh Allen, like it's almost laid out for Josh Allen right now. Now you don't have to worry about the Eagles either.
Yep.
So, I mean, the bigger teams are getting pushed out of the way. And it's like, if you don't get it done this year, I think you could be right about the Bills coach being out of there if they don't win.
Absolutely. But how good is the NFC West this year? Quite honestly, I know we haven't really talked about it. They have 3
thought the same
teams.
thing.
It's 3 teams and the Bears in the divisional round from the NFC West. It's crazy.
Well,
Seriously, it's crazy.
And, this is the 3rd time that the Seahawks and the 49ers are playing. And then if depending on who wins, no matter what, if the Rams win, if the Rams beat the Bears, they would play the Seahawks or the 49ers, and that would be the 3rd time they would play as well this season too.
Yep.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy how good that division is. The 49ers, it's crazy that they were playing for the 1 seed against.
So wait a minute, we could be playing the NFC and AFC championship games against 2 opponents. It could be the Patriots
Same division.
and the Bills.
Yeah.
And it could be the 49ers and the Rams.
It could be.
Rams aren't winning this game.
Wild. But the Rams aren't going to win. I think the Bears are.
They're not winning this game.
I think it's I know the weather and everyone. Well, it's just the weather. They're professional athletes. They'll deal with it.
That Chicago crowd
different.
too. It's not
It's
just
different.
the weather.
It's different.
Have fun going on a silent count for the entire game.
Now, the only thing that I will give credit for the Rams is they are very good in their 3 tight end sets and under center.
Oh, absolutely.
And in games like this, you're going to have to be able to run the ball. You're going to be able to have to play action. And if you can do that and establish that, I like their chances on offense to not just go 5 wide in the cold weather in Chicago and just say, Matthew Stafford, you got to beat him. Save us. That's the formula that I see the Rams having to do. And they've been doing it a lot. And they I think, run that 13 personnel with 3 tight end more than anyone in the league.
They do. Yeah.
So
Bears do it too quite often, actually. This is what I'd say. McVay versus Ben Johnson is just,
Within
similar.
the game.
It's going to look similar if the weather was better. I truly believe it would be more of like what Ben Johnson versus Shanahan was in week 17. This is, I mean, yeah, even with the weather, it's the highest point total of the week. That tells you all you need to know about what the NFL thinks of this game. And they made it their last game of the weekend.
This is also true.
This is
also true.
The most important game. And please win. Please win. Please win. Please.
I think it's going to be, every Bears game that I've watched this year has ended in a way that I've never seen a football game end before.
Yep.
And I think every NFL fan can
Remember
say
how
that
they all ended
regardless
last
of
year,
how.
and now how they all ended this year.
Yep.
They talk about flipping the coin,
The duality of
the doink, the
everything.
Hail Mary,
Everything.
all
Blocked
the things
field
you
goal.
did last year.
It was, we lost in every way imaginable, forgetting to call a timeout. And now every single scenario,
Wow.
You cannot make this up. It's seriously. And I said it in the interview with Peyton, this is propaganda for all of the young children that haven't picked a football team yet and their parents are Bears fans. You are going to show them tape from this entire season and they will have no choice but to be a Bears fan.
If we're being honest.
Really. But absolutely. The time is now to be a Bears fan, guys. And I'm sorry to say, but the train left the station in week 18. So you guys can watch us have fun and keep rooting for your team.
Last game to touch on is we've kind of mentioned it, but the Bills Broncos. This is the first game of the weekend. This is the first game on Saturday.
This is
Josh Allen is having to put on his Superman cape. And unless that guy does what he did, it did work. I don't know if I can see it working against this really good Denver Bronco defense.
You would think.
So this to me could be the most interesting game of the weekend, just to see what Josh Allen does against this really good defense and to see what Bo Nix we get.
Mm-hmm. It's
because
Trevor Lawrence didn't play bad against the Bills defense. It was not on him that they lost.
And the Bills defense have the best pass defense in the league. Statistically, that's what it was. And that's why you saw Trevor have a couple, it took him a little bit to kind of figure it out. And then he started to really put it together. Is Bo Nix going to be able to do that? Is Bo Nix going to be able to figure out this pass game and figure out this, this defense that he's going up against? And running the ball will help him. They've got two pretty good running backs. And I know Harvey has come on the back half of the season
Did they go
really
to the
strong.
Last year?
They did.
They lost to Buffalo.
Okay, so this is Bo Nix's second playoff game.
Yeah.
Okay.
He lost to Josh Allen last year.
Yes, he did.
In Buffalo.
He put up some points, I remember.
Yeah.
But ultimately it was like, it's his first game, he learned a lot, whatever. Look, this defense though is legit. And I've been on record on saying it. I think I was on record saying that I'm scared of the Texans defense more than I am of the Broncos.
Yeah.
Which is funny how that worked out.
Have fun.
But I don't trust, even when I'm looking at like CJ Stroud versus Bo Nix, I'd rather play CJ Stroud of what you fumbled the ball 4 times and had 2 interceptions and you're waving at the fans like you did something last night.
Oh my God.
A little cringe. Sorry, buddy. You should be thanking your defense and you should be thinking that the Steelers.
He almost had 5 fumbles. It was bad.
So looking past, both your teams, future, right? Both your teams win this weekend.
We're going to Santa Clara.
Who are you hoping you play?
Oh, I want the Niners.
You want the Niners for sure.
I want the Niners in Chicago.
That's what you want. Do you want the Bills or do you want the Broncos?
I want the Bills. I would love the Bills. We'd have them at home.
Yeah.
And we get to shut up all those annoying ass fucking fans in Buffalo that think that they have Jesus reincarnated as their quarterback.
Did you see how many different ways he got hurt the other day and still played?
My God, yeah.
I mean, that guy is Superman.
He's the SpongeBob meme of that one guy who's got like
every morning I break my legs.
Yeah,
every afternoon I
nothing
break my
seems
arms.
to stop him.
And it, I don't feel bad, but it's like at the end of this season, if I'm Josh, regardless of how this thing turns out for them, you got to be looking at your coach and your GM and being like, guys, if you're expecting me to play like this, I'm going to play for like 5 more years and be done because I'm not going to be able to walk.
If that.
Yeah.
So I need something. Like, you got to give me something.
Well, they're giving him a stadium, but that's not, you need people.
But it also goes under my saying of, quarterbacks who this is like their X factor, like Lamar and like kind of like how Mahomes, we've talked about Mahomes, how he's really going to have to kind of change how he plays the game.
Yep.
Josh, at some point, Father Time is going to catch up with Josh, and he's almost 30 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's coming.
At some point, you're not going to be able to just treat him like a bowling ball and just have him run through everyone and break all these tackles and just everything.
How about the tush push thing? Like they said that play could have been the nail in the coffin on the tush push.
So, you know what's funny about
the
that?
way they carried him over that line.
Buffalo was one of the main supporting teams last year that was like advocating for it to get banned. And then they scored 2 touchdowns off of it to win that game.
To be fair, they can just regularly sneak.
You're
Josh Allen.
right.
He'll get in.
You're right, but
they carried him over that line. They carried him all those yards.
You guys made it so vocal that you were one of the teams that wanted to ban it.
Well, it's done now. It's over. It will get voted out.
It'll get revisited again, and it's man.
We don't want to watch rugby. When the forward pass was instituted in 1905, when Harry Truman, the president back then, when he literally said football is going to die if we don't change the game, they did, and now football is going to die again. We don't play rugby. We play football. Get the play out of the game.
Yep. Absolutely.
Couldn't agree more.
I agree. But on to our pick 'ems. So we have 5 because we do have the national championship next Monday. Should be a good game, I hope. But first game we just got done talking about. I'm taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills. I do not trust the Broncos at all.
I trust their defense. I trust their D-line.
Yeah.
But
I trust Josh Allen.
I don't trust
though.
Bo Nix. I don't trust the inconsistency that they've had on offense.
You want to know the one thing is, obviously Patrick Surtain is just a wizard at taking away, the number 1 receiver of every team. The Bills are playing chess, not checkers, because they don't have a single wide receiver 1 anywhere on that fucking roster. So good luck, Surtain. Good luck picking who's going to get the ball every week.
Brandon Cooks or Dawson Knox.
You got Brandon Cooks, you got Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman has come out of retirement apparently, or purgatory from the Bills staff. Yeah, you got Kincaid, got James Cook. Yeah, it's good luck guessing who's getting the ball. Seriously, it could be Josh Allen just himself running.
Or they'll
it every
just
time.
carry him down the field.
Or they'll carry him.
Kind of what they've done.
Give me the Bills.
I will take the Bills.
Broncos are losing this game.
I will take the Bills. I don't trust Bo Nix. I
No.
trust their defense because I know we've been kind of. What about their defense? Their defense is great.
Yep.
Their offense, don't trust them.
No.
So I will go with the offense and the quarterback that I trust the most.
Absolutely.
Buffalo. Next one, 49ers, Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks. I just think this is truly when the injuries come up for the 49ers. The Seahawks are coming off the bye week, a team that they've played 2 times already.
Yeah. I think they're 1-1. Believe. I think the Niners beat them.
Yeah, because it came down to that.
They beat them in Seattle earlier in the year.
Yeah,
Seattle beat them.
I'm going to take the Seahawks. I like them coming off a bye. I like their defense. Their D-line is great. I think they're going to be able to really focus on Christian McCaffrey because when he goes, the 49ers seem to go. And they know that with George Kittle being out now. I like the Seahawks in this one.
Give me the Niners. Give me both 1 seeds losing in the divisional round. When's the last time that happened?
I don't know.
Give me. I think the Niners have a bitter taste in their mouth after losing to the Seahawks and losing the division and losing out on the 1 seed in Week 18. And yeah, it doesn't. It's arguably one of their bitter rivals when they're both good. I mean, Seahawks and 49ers have a very storied history, especially in the the 2010s with how good both teams were. Give me the Niners. Brock Purdy's been playing out of his mind.
Cooled off a little bit, but
yeah,
he's going to have
That's
to.
true.
He's
but they
gonna
did
have
play.
to.
They played a fantastic Eagles defense. That is, the Eagles defense was completely healthy.
100%.
Jalen Carter was back after surgery. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, they had everybody.
They got 2 All-Pros, first team All-Pros in that secondary.
Everybody was healthy, and Brock Purdy still did just enough to win. And their receiving core, similar to the Bills, but the 49ers are much more loaded in that, if Pearsall plays, I think Jawan Jennings had a great game. Even Demarcus Robinson had a good game for the Niners against the Eagles. So I just think, the Seahawks, I don't fully trust Sam Darnold. I really don't. We've seen what happens sometimes with him, and it happened this season too. So I do think Mr. Casper is probably going to pay Sam Darnold a visit on Saturday, and the Niners are going to take advantage.
Well, and in these games too, regardless of how good your defense is, regardless of all this, it comes down to, I think, who has the better quarterback and who has the better quarterback play that wins these games.
I think it's Purdy. Seriously.
And yeah, if If you're going based off that, I don't hate that pick, but I think the Seahawks will take this just with all the injuries that the 49ers.
So
It's going to be a tough game.
Dylan, recent history, just so you know, 2021, both number 1 seeds lost.
Was it the Packers
lost
and
the Titans
Yeah.
lost?
Oh, the Titans.
So it
that's
was only 4 years ago.
Really?
that happened, because it was in
Interesting.
January 22.
Very interesting.
So recent history, it's happened before. It could happen again.
Not the craziest thing. And these 2 1 seeds, I think the Broncos more than the Seahawks, kind of fraudulent. The Seahawks, this year in the NFL, there weren't any great teams. Everyone can beat anyone.
Everyone has beaten everyone.
Yeah, literally. The parity circle got complete in like week 6.
Patriots beat the Bills. Bills beat the Patriots.
That's right.
The 49ers beat the Seahawks.
That means
Seahawks
the Browns
beat the
are the
49ers.
best team in the league, baby. But on to, speaking of the Patriots, let's see. This is a tough game. This is a really tough
Look,
game.
and their defense is great. It really is.
It's incredible.
Our defense played really good too against a struggling Texans offense, especially if they don't have. No, I'm saying I think we'll play good against the struggling Texans offense. Especially if they don't have Nico Collins.
That's true.
So with that, I kind of not a tie, but as a tie as in how they'll play for a majority of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think where the edge lies is Drake May being able to run the ball, being able to run away from those really good pass rushers when he needs to, and make just enough plays to get through this game and to beat a good defense.
Yep.
When your defense is playing good and not letting a struggling offense, as in the Texans, put up a ton of points.
Will Campbell and Morgan Moses have
They
their
gotta
work
play
cut out
a
for
very
themselves.
good game, and I think it's going to take a lot of chipping. It's going to take a lot of double teams from our tight ends on the line of scrimmage. Whatever you need to do to slow those guys down to give Drake May some time. For that reason, though, I give the edge quarterback play to Drake May.
Yeah.
And for that, I think he will be able to make enough plays to win this game, even if it's 10-3, 13-3, 16-3, 16-10, somewhere in that ballpark. I will be taking the Patriots in this one.
So I know the ballots are already closed, but this is Drake May's MVP statement right here. The Patriots, I don't think this game's going to be close. I do think that Vrabel's going to have a great game plan, and same with Josh McDaniels to handle the pass rush. It'll be a lot of quick passes. And the Patriots can throw the ball to anybody. They've got 2 great running backs. I do think the Texans are going to sputter here. And the Patriots are, I don't want to say dominate, but Drake May is going to have a great game, I think. And this secondary is incredible. And it may start off slow, but I do think the Patriots are going to pick up steam eventually, whether that's in the second quarter or the second half. And they'll win by 10 to 14 points.
And look, if we can get some turnovers, if CJ Stroud's just throwing them out like they're, candy on Halloween of when it comes to fumbles or interceptions or whatever, and we can get some short field opportunity at, starting at the 30-yard line or the 40-yard line, makes scoring touchdowns a lot easier than going 70 plus yards on that amazing defense. So we can get some of those and get some of those mistakes that he's been making the whole year, and we saw it against the Steelers. Again, I like my chances.
Yep.
I like the Patriots.
Speaking of the Texas team, so you realize Stroud now was in 9th grade when Dak Prescott started in the NFL.
I saw that.
And he has more playoff wins now, the other Texas team, than
Dak Prescott.
Oh, poor Jerry. Poor Jerry. It's okay, buddy.
Hey, you know what?
It's okay.
Those 2 guys, Dak Prescott and George Pickens and Jake Ferguson, they hold a special place in my heart for what they did for me fantasy this year. So Jerry, thanks for keeping those guys and having them play that week. That's what I'll say about that.
Yes.
Last game of the weekend, your game. I'll talk before you go so you can have the closing remarks on it. I do like the Bears. And I'm not just being a homer because you are making you happy. You know me. If I truly didn't think that, I wouldn't say that. I think the weather is going to have a huge impact on this game.
Yep.
And if the Rams can run in that, if they can stay and be consistent in that 13 formation, that 3 tight end, that they've been running all, and get the play action going, if the Bears let them just live in that the whole game, I think it could be a long day. Yep. I think the Bears are going to know that, though. They're going to force them to, hey, you're going to have to go 5 wide. You're going to have to make Matthew Stafford win this thing.
Yep.
And that seems kind of crazy of saying, well, you're going to make the MVP like beat you guys throwing the ball. Like he's done pretty good this year. Yeah, I agree. But in this type of game, in this type of weather, in this just playoff atmosphere, you're gonna have to, I think, live in that formation. And I just don't think the Bears are gonna let them.
Nope.
So for that, and with Caleb, with everything they've been doing, they've got weapons. They've got 2 really good running backs. Run the ball a little bit more, and they've kind of had to go away from it because you've had to kind of come back and score so many points. So that's kind of why I think they've gone away. But if you stay consistent, don't start slow, run the ball like you did against the Eagles, and you were able to control that whole game, pass when you need to, play action. I like the Bears on this one.
The Bears.
And I'm not being a homer.
I've waited my whole life for a game like this. Seriously, I was 9 years old the last time the Bears won a playoff game. That is not fictional. That is unfortunately true. And this is going to be seriously, this is going to alert the league. And I think we've had so many opportunities to do so, and they've taken every opportunity. But I get it. Earn it. You got to earn the respect. This is where you get it. This is everyone's darling. This is, a lot of people's Super Bowl pick at the start of the year. And quite honestly, even though they haven't looked great the last month and a half, they're still the Rams. This is still one of the best rosters in football. But you're having to come into our house in a loud-ass stadium, facing a city that hasn't had anything like this for most of their lives, for the most part, except, unless you're, a 50-plus-year-old Bears fan that got to see those glory years in the 80s. This is an entire city. You're not just playing a team. You're going to feel that too. The Packers felt it, and they crumbled under that pressure. And so I do think on top of, just the Bears having home field advantage and good weather, for the team, Matt Stafford, when he plays cold weather teams in the playoffs, is 1-8. So there's that. And Sean McVay he's never won a game in Chicago. So there's also that. This team has earned my confidence. Seriously, after last Saturday, I should have known better. I really should have. But I did not stick to my guns, and I thought the game was over. Again, I didn't turn it off, but I was just sitting there waiting for the game to end. And then I saw us win just out of nowhere. I do think this game, I get that we're 4.5 point underdogs. I will probably win by 7 to 10 points. They're just not going to be ready for the cold. It's a lot of those players haven't, I said it multiple times. 45 degrees is the coldest they've played in all year. This is way different. And it's windy. It's going to feel like negative degrees.
You know what I hope that the Rams players come out and do?
Come out with their shirts off? Act like it's not
every
cold.
Time that happens,
and then by the second quarter, they're just hurting.
Every time that happens, you're already beat, my friend. If you have to come out and prove that the cold doesn't do anything to you, you've already let it beat you.
You want to know what the Bears are going to do? They're going to come out in the proper gear, and they're going to be warm, and they're going to be ready to play when the kickoff happens.
It was that game I told you about in college when Jackson State came to Montana and it started snowing in pregame, and they were acting like they were losing by 35 points in the first quarter.
If you come out and make that a big deal,
Jared Verse is my pick. Jared Verse is going to be the guy you see shirtless.
100%. I was thinking the same thing. Talking shit like he always did, like he did against the Eagles a couple years ago, or last year. Was it last year?
Yes,
yeah, because that game was in the snow.
It was last year. He's gonna do it again.
Yeah, to me, every time you see that, it's like you're undefeated. Mm-hmm. You're undefeated when that happens. Yeah. Because if you make it that big of a deal and you're showing up and you're trying to show everyone that the cold doesn't affect you, you've already let it affect you.
The last thing I'll say is Colston Loveland has arrived. The Rams have white linebackers. I'm sorry, but Colston Loveland is. We'll lead into our bet of the week. Colston Loveland is. Tom Brady called him Mini Gronk. All right, so
he's very good.
Anytime you get compared to someone like that from the guy that threw him the ball, pretty good.
And pretty good. You know what's funny is maybe I guess the people who were there, but you and me can really relate to it. Is the Packers fans?
Oh, they laughed their ass off when we drafted him, dude.
All of you guys shit when we were sitting inside Lambeau Field when you guys drafted Colston Loveland over. Who was it? Warren?
Tyler Warren.
Yep. The things that were said to you guys.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And then for him to go out and do what he did against the Packers in the playoffs.
Wait a minute. Was that when you guys were at the draft?
Yeah.
Just this last year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It was,
it was,
wow. If I was a Bears fan, chef's kiss.
Yep.
Of like.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. All of you.
Enjoy watching him and Luther Burden terrorize you guys for the next however long they're playing football, because we're not letting either of them go.
Some of the things that were said to these two, because we were with your cousin when we were sitting there, like when that happened, it was just like, you guys fucking suck, like you losers.
Oh yeah,
this
that's
is why
it.
you're
The
always
Bears
gonna
still
lose.
suck.
Bears still suck. Ha ha ha.
Yep.
You guys can't even pick the right players. You guys can't pick the right coach.
Yep. I wish we could I wish we could talk to some of them again. Just
That'd
to
be
see
fun
how
to
they're
go
I'd
back.
love
It'd be
to.
fun to go back.
I wonder what they're doing now. I wonder if they're thinking about that moment too, and just be like,
Probably not. But it's too bad. You should have told them about your show. Hey, guys, can I talk about the last game? Because see, you've had your fun. I want to talk about a game that's in my Dolphin Stadium.
yeah,
Sadly, it's not the Dolphins, but
This is a Miami
the
home
Miami
game.
Hurricanes against Indiana.
That's
You realize
pretty cool.
this is a home game for Miami because it's in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
A home game for Miami. Indiana, okay, Mendoza, he's from Miami.
Yeah, that is.
So this
that's
is a
right.
homecoming, and
true.
I got to tell you, it's only happened a few other times when like the Super Bowl was by the home team. What, it was the Rams and
It was the
Tampa
Bay.
Tampa
the
Bay one.
with
That's
Tom
right.
Brady.
So it's happened twice. In this case, I think Indiana. My prediction: they will not be stopped. It does not matter where this
No.
game is at.
Nope.
Indiana is not going to lose. Period.
Indiana's a team of destiny.
I think Indiana
I'm
wins.
picking
yeah.
Indiana
I do too. I think Indiana wins. I think they have a team. They have more of a team than I think Miami does. And I do think we will see Sid the Sloth.
They have one of the oldest rosters too. You talked about it
They
earlier
do.
about the age of their.
They've
might
got
not
a
have all
lot
the 4 and
of-
5
they've
stars,
got
but
a
they
lot
got
of
4 and
6
5 year
They've
players,
got, yeah.
and it's showing.
People that have been in college for like 6 years at this point. They
Yeah.
have a lot of
I like
guys
Indiana.
like
That
I like-
might be
I
worth
like their
more than the
coach.
stars.
I will say though, I saw this narrative going around after Indiana blew out Oregon that I think they'd bet $1,000 or however much money that Indiana would beat the New York Jets. And I just love the response that someone said Breece Hall would break the rushing record by the first quarter.
Yes, I agree.
As good as a college football team is, they will never compare to the
Even
NFL,
those Alabama
ever.
teams
You
of
could-
old, like an NFL team would destroy them.
You could take the worst
Yes.
NFL team right now without a head
They would
coach, and they
kill
would
them.
they would kill him.
Kill them.
You could take what's the team? You could
2019 LSU is
who
losing
just
to the
fired
0
who just
17
fired their
Browns.
coach that was a shitty team where it was like completely obvious.
The
Jets,
Raiders.
the Raiders,
Jets.
You could take any of those teams right now without a head coach, and they can go play Indiana, and they would probably win by 30, 40
Whoop
points.
ass. Like seriously, it's I don't know why that narrative keeps getting brought up and who keeps saying that, but no, it's never true. It's never
never
been true ever, and it will never be true.
It would never happen.
No.
To
Hell
go
no.
kind of wrap into our bets of the week. Again, I don't have one. We're kind of filming on Tuesday. I'm going to wait because I don't like just picking touchdown because all those are up. I almost took one. I decided not to. I'm going to wait till I
You
might take
Drake May touchdown.
I might take his rushing yards because if we win, he's going to have to rush the ball the same way he did.
Yes.
So I might do that. I'll look and see what that line is.
Just
I can
make
imagine.
sure Azeez Al-Shaair is nowhere near him when he's rushing the ball.
Please, dear
because
God, don't kill my quarterback.
He will go for the head.
He please don't kill my
That's the
quarterback.
Walter Payton Man of the Year, by the way.
Please
Man of
don't-
the Year nominee.
Please don't kill my quarterback.
He's gonna try.
And I don't blame him. But yes,
going to
my
try.
will be. We actually did really good on our picks this week,
Damn
as
right
a
we
whole.
did.
I think one of us. I think Vanny went 6 for 0.
Burden.
Vanny picked the 49ers to win. He also picked. He picked Buffalo. I know.
Yeah.
We kind of for the most part we had everyone picking Jacksonville. Vanny went 6 and 0. You went. I think 5 and 1. I went 5 and 1.
Yeah,
we
I got
both
the
hit our
Jags
bets.
wrong.
I got the Jags wrong as well. Oh well, I picked the Eagles, so I got that one wrong.
I think I picked the Eagles.
But
too.
for the most part, it was a pretty good week. I think for the
It
bets,
was.
we only had we had a Colin take Saquon, and he did not score. And other than that, everyone hit all their bets. So it was a good week for that. But yes, my pick will be on that graphic. a little bit
probably
later in the
Drake
week.
May's rushing yards.
Probably that's probably what I'll take. Yeah.
Mine's going to be, I just got done talking about it. Colson Loveland is going to score a touchdown on Sunday. I think that's pretty apparent that he has become the number one option on that offense ever since Cole Kmet kind of not gave up, but has moved to the side a bit to the tight end 2 role. This is Colson Loveland's offense. Like it's seriously, he's the third down threat. He's the red zone threat. He's the fourth down threat. Caleb gives him like 10 targets a game now.
Yeah.
And for that reason, he's going to be my keeper in one of my fantasy leagues this year.
I don't
Because
blame you.
I picked him up on waivers, which means I get to completely reset my team and keep a potential top 5 tight end on my roster. We'll do that. Colson Loveland anytime touchdown. gonna happen. It's might even be the first touchdown of the game. So if you're into betting first time touchdowns, we can't because it's illegal in Georgia. But maybe that's a bet worth taking. But cut bet of the week as well.
Little bit flip. Last week we kind of did my team. This week
taking the Bears money line.
We're gonna do the Bears money line this week.
Bears money line. I like it. I mean, just got done talking about all of it. Cold weather, home field advantage versus an LA team. So bring it on. I am so excited. I cannot wait. But yeah, that is going to do it, I believe. Got another great weekend of football.
Last
We're
little
almost done,
message. Flynn, if you've made it this far in the episode.
Flynn, it's okay, buddy.
You made it this far in the episode.
He just lost his coach. Come on,
I'm
give him
gonna
a
be
break.
nice.
Hey, he's happy about that. I talked to him. He wanted Tomlin
I'm gonna
going.
be nice. Fuck the Steelers. Great episode. We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy all the games.
Sir, it's been real, guys.
Love you, Flynn.